So I have this document called Tips to Be Successful with Our Retail Store. If you want this document, just email support and I'll be happy to give it to you. I'm just going to go through some things that will help you be successful with our wholesale program. If your order doesn't clear out after you hit submit on your purchase order form, just go to File, Download as Excel file, and then email that to support. That will make sure that we get your order. That's important. Make sure that you put cost price on your order sheet and not the MSRP price. So that's important. Sometimes you'll look at a sheet and it'll be a little bit confusing. So let me show an example here. So this is the catalog for Havaianas. And it's right up here. So your cost, and then this is the MSRP, which is what it usually sells for. So when you're filling out your order form, you want to make sure that you're putting the cost price on there and not the MSRP. Can you see that, Ed? Some of them do. Some of them do. And some of them don't. Can you see that a little bit better, Ed?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay. So you want to make sure that you have the right information on your order form, because every time we have to stop and ask you to correct things, that holds up someone's order. Do not put ASINs on your order form. This is important. So for the order form, it'll have the style number or the UPC number or the description. If you cannot find that information, email support before the order deadline date. I'll show you where to find it or how to find it, but don't, as just the throwaway, put the ASIN on there. And the reason that you don't do this is because some of these vendors don't know that we sell on Amazon, and for you to put that ASIN on there is a dead giveaway that we sell on Amazon. So if you could not do that, that would be fantastic. Now we try to catch these as much as possible before they happen, but sometimes it just happens. So if you cannot put those on there so that it's not an option for it to happen, that would be fantastic. Make sure that you use the company names and titles and not the Amazon names. So this section that says description, all that means is the title of the product. If you are using Amazon titles, it will flag our account to the vendor. So if you could use the correct ones, that would be excellent. So if you're using the evaluated list that we provide, sometimes it will give the Amazon name for the product, not the actual name from the catalog. So once you know that you're going to pick that product, just make sure that you go back into the catalog and get the correct name, styles, color code, and size. So for example, I showed you Havaianas. So if I was going to order this shoe, I know that this is the name, that's the style number, that's the price, these are the color codes, that's the color right there. So I want to put the actual name in their vendor file and not the one from Amazon. The vendor catalog is the most up-to-date information, not necessarily the evaluated file, as Ed pointed out earlier. So make sure that you refer to that when checking for availability. So sometimes, if you're not aware, we have a folder where we have a list of different vendors that have already been evaluated for you. So sometimes you'll place your order off of that evaluated list without going and looking at the actual vendor's folder, which has the most up-to-date information. So you'll place your order based on that evaluated file, not knowing that most of that stuff is out of stock. So please just check there. So for example, some of these have been updated on February 20th. For whatever reason, maybe the VAs haven't had a chance to format that new list so it can be evaluated through software. So you might be working off of an old list. So you just want to double check in the vendor folder that those styles are still available. For example, I uploaded Teva's catalog, and the order deadline date was like the next day. So the person used the stuff that was in the evaluated, and their whole order got canceled because none of the styles were available because they were old styles. So you just want to make sure that you're checking in the actual vendor folder to make sure that the up-to-date information is in there. Make sure that you stick to the min and maximum quantities. Orders that are over will be adjusted. So over here, it tells you what the min and max order information is. Now, this is developed because of the brand, how old the account is. We actually do have a retail store, and it's not huge, so they know how much we are feasibly able to stock. Now, I've had people who have argued with me about what the maximum order quantity should be and what it shouldn't be. And orders have been canceled and our account has been flagged because they know that the quantities that we're ordering do not match what our physical location is. So if we put an order, if we put a minimum and a maximum order amount in there, please adhere to that. We're not doing it just to be difficult. We're doing it for a reason. There were a couple of orders this past order cycle that were canceled because people did not adhere to the limits. So we just want to make sure that that is being followed, because we don't want the account to be closed because we have people that just aren't following the directions. So I also said that orders will be adjusted. So meaning if one brand, if the maximum order quantity is $6,000, and this is per order cycle, collectively, not individual. So if order cycle, if the maximum is $6,000 and there are two people that are trying to order from that same vendor, and one person places an order for 6,000 and another person places an order for 3,000, we're going to have that 6,000 person adjust their order so that the 3,000 person can get on that order as well. So just be aware of that. That will happen. We'll ask you to observe that. Make sure that you fill out the purchase order form as fully as possible. If you need UPCs, for example, they are required with Jockey. So if you're submitting a Jockey order and you're not submitting UPCs, we will ask you to give us the UPCs. But if you need them, try to add them to your inventory in Seller Central, and that will give you the UPC. Submit your orders on time. If they are late, they will be canceled. We have the same rules for everyone, and we ask that they are followed. So multiple people have actually wanted us to make an exception for them or go about doing things differently. And when one person asks, and then another person asks, and then another person asks, and then another person asks, then no one is following the rules. There's no continuity across the board. Orders are being held up and things are being difficult. So we ask that everyone follow the same rules. I have the same expectations for everyone across the board. Make sure that you make payment within the window of your invoice and submit the proper proof to the support email. If you fail to do so, we will cancel the order. So if you're sending a check, make sure that you take a picture of it and send it to the support email. Because if we don't have that proof that you're sending payment within those 3 days, then we're going to have to cancel your order so that it isn't held up for everyone else. And check to see if you need to order items in case pack configuration. So this document right here is going to tell you if you have to order things in case pack quantity, and it's over here. So you have to make sure that you do that. For example, Bear Paw, you have to order those products in case pack. If you try to place just one shoe order, they will cancel that order. So I cannot stress how important it is to follow this wholesale master list, so the information on here, and how important it is to fill out your order form in the proper way, because those are very important documents. And also with the deadline order date, if it is blank, like right here, it's not open to order from. So don't email support asking if you can order from that vendor, because it's telling you right there that you can't. This is updated. This is edited. Everything is correct. So just please be observant to the rules and the procedures that we have in place. can't make exceptions. Everyone has to follow the same rules because it doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone collectively who has placed that order. So are there any questions about tips to be successful with our retail store? If you're using the retail store and you have questions, schedule your coaching call with me. I can do a screen share, walk you through some things, explain some things to you. If you hear the rules and you're not happy about them, I will be more than happy to get on a call with you and explain why those are the way that they are as well. Have no problem doing that. There aren't any other questions. I'm going to stop this. If you want this document, just email support and I'll be happy to give that to you.